If you want to process expenses directly via the expense module, for those expenses you don't need to follow the supplier in detail. It concerns those invoices that you pay cash, or you pay the invoice on receipt before month end, thus no credit accorded, then use the expense module. Further, you don't need to have a specific GL account for that invoice you process via the expense module like mobile, telephone, stationery, etc. So can post the expenses directly to the expense module, which is on the left here. Expense. Add expense. The process is very simple. Insert date here and choose project if applicable. If you don't have a project, just leave it. But if you do have a project, then choose it. Note that you can monitor your project's income to expenses and print reports via the profit and loss report section. Choose here the income expense category. It monitors your cash flow and does the reporting of these three main groups. Operations for operating expenses. Investments for pure investments, assets or other. Financials for items on loan, and so on. The system will put the processing automatically to each group. 2 pages you need to select, one is income and other is expenses. On all other pages it is done automatically. Payee can be a supplier or could be miscellaneous. If you are paying to a customer expenses, example you pay customer transport charges, you can say customer. You can say here which customer or supplier. Choose here currency. Choose your bank account. Click the blue tick to update the system. Then go below and you will find general and administrative expenses. In the expenses you got all the expenses normally a company pays on receipt of invoice. It's all direct, it's instant payment on receipt of invoice prior to month end, no debt with a supplier, short payment terms. For example, we will select the 5,610, accounting and legal.
Process amount here for an example 100 euros. Thus insert the amount before tax, as the tax you will process separately. Now define here tax by percentage. Note if you are not subject to sales tax, you would process the entire amount including tax when processing the expense items, and the tax input would be left blank. Put a memo text if required.
Then click this green tick to confirm the transaction. You can add another transaction here. Then click Save Expense Entry. You can view the GL posting for this expense, can see the impact in the journal, enter another expense, view the expense register, and you can enter an income. Go to the Expense Register module. Here you will find all the expenses that you processed.